Welcome back to Headlines. I'm Wes Austin, and these are today's top stories. First, Nancy Pelosi has a tense exchange with Jake Tapper over insider trading allegations. Nancy got so defensive, I thought Tapper asked her if she aged naturally. Then, newly declassified documents alleged to show Hillary Clinton approved a plan hatched by a campaign aide to smear Trump with Russia collusion. Give it a few days, and I'm sure Hillary will be swearing under oath that she thought that campaign aide was one of Bill's girlfriends. Next, Katy Perry is spotted on a dinner date with Justin Trudeau. I guess once you've kissed a girl, the next step is dating one. And finally, one activist is furious that other progressives are criticizing Sydney Sweeney's ad without wearing masks. When your hot take on genes includes the word eugenics, maybe it's time to log off and touch grass. With gloves, of course. We've got the clip. You need to see it. She's something else. Okay, then we go to the comment section. The first comment that we're going to talk about was on Pete Buttigieg. Someone asked if Pete Buttigieg said that highways were racist. So we're going to look at that question. Then the next comments were on Judge Boasberg. Someone asked if he looks like Lurch. We're going to find out. And then someone else asked, how can you remove a federal judge or demote them? So we'll look at that too. Okay, let's dive in. Nancy Pelosi got testy with CNN's Jake Tapper when he asked her about President Trump accusing her of insider trading.
Nancy Pelosi became rich.
Why do you have to read that? We're here to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid. That's what I agreed to come to talk about.
Yeah, but I wanted
what that means in the election.
I wanted to give you a chance just to respond. He accused you of insider trading. What's your response to that?
That's ridiculous. In fact,
Nancy was so panicked, it's like Tapper asked her, now what did you look like before the facelift? And Pelosi saying that the question was ridiculous? Nancy, your portfolio didn't just beat the S&P 500, it waterboarded it.
Well, don't worry about this. But I have no concern about the obvious investments that had been made over time. I'm not into it, my husband is, but it isn't anything to do with anything insider.
Nancy's husband, Paul Pelosi, has an estimated net worth of $262 million. His stock portfolio performs better than Pfizer during a pandemic, and that's saying something. New intelligence files that were declassified today indicate that Hillary Clinton approved the plan hatched by a campaign aide to smear Trump with false claims of Russia collusion. Oh, come on. You can at least act surprised. The information released was part of Special Counsel John Durham's report on what he uncovered during his investigation. One purported email states, HRC, meaning Hillary Rodham Clinton, approved Julie's idea about Trump and Russia hackers hampering U.S. elections. This should distract people from her own missing email, especially if the affair goes to the Olympic level. Apparently, Julie was a Clinton campaign advisor. If I were Julie, I'd avoid hot tubs, dumbbells, doorknobs, and small aircraft. This is like political Hunger Games, and Julie just got volunteered as tribute. Another purported email states, the media analysis on the DNC hacking appears solid. Julie says it will be a long-term affair to demonize Putin and Trump. Now it is good for a post-convention bounce. Later, the FBI will put more oil into the fire. And boy, did the FBI ever bring the oil. They basically backed up a tanker truck and started spraying it like they were at one of Diddy's freak-off parties. Katy Perry appears to be dating former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. The couple was recently spotted dining at a fancy restaurant in Montreal. A source also revealed that Justin and Katy have been wanting to meet up for a while, and that Katy agreed to the date very quickly. Katy Perry went from Orlando Bloom to Justin Trudeau. So I guess her new type of man is one who pees sitting down. A progressive with pink hair is upset at other liberals for having their meltdowns about the Sydney Sweeney ad without wearing a mask. At least I'm pretty sure that's what she meant.
That American Eagle ad with Sydney Sweeney is literally overt eugenics. I know you don't want to hear this, but if you want to talk about how that ad is promoting eugenics, which it absolutely is, we also have to talk about how choosing not to wear a mask when you can during an ongoing pandemic, because you're okay with a certain subset of people, primarily disabled people of color, dying for your own comfort, is also eugenics. Just the more normalized kind. Bye.
For those of you who are lost, let me translate. Criticizing clothing commercials without masking is basically genocide. I hope that helps. You know, I'm starting to think that there's a direct correlation between artificial hair pigmentation and natural brain function. And now to the comment section. First off, I wanted to say thank you to everyone for all of your comments. I do look through them and I appreciate all of the good questions and comments and the great zingers too. On the people I'm roasting, not the ones on me. Anyway, so the first comment that we're going to look at is about Judge Boasberg. So this was on the segment we did about him. Someone asked this question. This is from, let's see, Monty Gordon 3437. That would be Judge Lurch Boasberg. So I wonder, does Boasberg look like Lurch? So we have a picture of Boasberg up. Let's put up a picture of Lurch next to him. They definitely look pretty similar. I mean, the one difference is that Lurch looks a little bit more happy and lifelike than Boasberg. But other than that, they're pretty similar. Now I actually asked ChatGPT, because I thought if Boasberg had hair, maybe he would look closer to Lurch. So I had ChatGPT try to put some hair on Boasberg to see if we could get him even closer to Lurch. So I'm going to put that up on the screen now. He's getting even closer, right? And he also, for any Trekkies out there, doesn't he also look like a Vulcan right there? He looks kind of like some mean vice principal on the planet Vulcan. Sorry, that was super nerdy. Only Trekkies will appreciate that. Okay, now let's go on to, we had a comment about the on Pete Buttigieg. So this was a segment we did about Pete Buttigieg saying that Trump had a lot of incompetent people in his cabinet. Just incredible that Pete would say that. So this is from Bartlester591. Let's see. Someone should remind Pete that he was Secretary of Transportation and that he thought that the highways were racist. And yes, he did actually think the highways were racist. I think it was a couple years ago or so. I remember doing a short video about it, talking about that. But here is an article from The Independent just to confirm. It's not just me saying this, from The Independent here. Buttigieg says America's highways are racist and infrastructure bill will help fix it. So yes, Pete did say that. Good old Pete. Okay, and then the last, oh look, I think we have two comments from Bartlester591. So thank you for the good comments. But the last one is back to the segment we did on Boasberg and how the DOJ filed a complaint against Boasberg. So I thought this was a good question. In my opinion on Boasberg, I think he's an idiot and a moron. I agree. He's also very partisan. And he should be not only removed from this one case, but he should be removed from the bench. I know it is very hard to remove a federal judge, and I know there is a mechanism in place, but I think what should happen, and I don't know if they can actually do it, couldn't the Supreme Court step in and just bump him down off the court and remove him to a lower court? So I thought that was a good question. Is there any other way to get rid of a federal district judge or have him demoted or anything? And the answer is no, there's really not, because a federal district court judge, it is a lifetime appointment. So they are appointed to that court for their life. And the only way to get rid of them is through the impeachment process, and which of course comes through the Constitution. We'll just quickly pull that up. So this is from Article 2, Section 4. The President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States. And that would be the judges. So in the Constitution, judges fall under civil officers of the United States. Shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. So the only way to get them is through the impeachment process. With the impeachment process, all you need is a simple majority in the House to get the impeachment. So, 51% basically. But then you would need to go to the Senate where you'd have to have them convicted by 2/3 vote, which is just not going to happen. But I did wonder, have we had judges impeached before? How Congress could, but probably won't, impeach a federal judge. So this had a couple of quotes that I thought were interesting as far as if it's happened before. Is impeachment of a federal judge something that has happened before? Yes, in fact, the House has impeached 15 federal judges. 8 were convicted by the Senate, 4 were acquitted by the Senate, and 3 resigned before the Senate could vote on whether to convict or acquit. And when was the last time it happened? The House last impeached a federal judge in 2010 when U.S. District Judge G. Thomas Porteous was impeached on charges of accepting bribes and making false statements under penalty of perjury. The House unanimously passed 4 articles of impeachment, and after a Senate committee was designated to analyze the evidence and take testimony, the Senate voted to convict Porteous on all 4 articles. Okay, so it has happened before, but right now with how close it is in the Senate with Republicans, just very slim majority, there's no way we're going to be able to get rid of any of these judges for a while. Thanks for watching Headlines. I'm Wes Austin. Good night.